Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head over to Denmark once again. We're going to cross the Øresund and have another beer from the Copenhagen area, and this is a brewery who are going through quite an exciting transition at the moment, I would say, and I've reviewed one beer from these guys already. So for this one we're going to return to Alefarm Brewing for my second review from them, and they recently started releasing their beers in cans, but this is the first one I'm going to be reviewing for you out of the cans. So this one is called the Kindred Spirits. It's an IPA coming in at 6.4%, hop with Simcoe, and it's got some lactose in it as well. So I'm not sure if you can call that a milkshake IPA, but I've heard really good things about this brewery. The last, I've tried some of their beers on tap in Copenhagen before they even started releasing bottles. I was very impressed with those. And interestingly, the last review that I did from these guys was the Funk Orchard, and Andreas from the brewery contacted me and said, oh, that beer doesn't look right, I'm pretty sure that one was infected, but we found the bottle hadn't been, the cap on the bottle hadn't sealed properly, and he very kindly offered to send me, he sent me some other bottles to review for you, but someone in the Danish post kept stealing them, so I never actually received them, but he had them insured, thankfully. So it was quite a funny story, that, but it was very nice of him to do that. But unfortunately, someone in the Danish post kept stealing the beers, so maybe something that Denmark needs to look at a little bit, folks stealing mail. But yeah, Alefarm Brewing, I've had some really good experiences with these guys in the past. As I say, I've tried a good few of their beers at places like Himeriet in Copenhagen, and I'm sure I've had some on tap in other places as well. But a really good brewery, and I'm very interested to try my first of their can releases. So let's see how we get on with this one then. So yeah, as always with my reviews, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that I've done from Alefarm before. No doubt I will do some more in the near future, because I'm over in Copenhagen fairly regularly, and they've got lots more beers available these days. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel, of course, has a geography based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city, state, county, prefecture, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Danish beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to, and as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, on to my brewery notes, to tell you a little bit about Alefarm Brewing then. So Alefarm Brewing is the brainchild of Andreas Schild Larsen, and they were founded back in 2015. So Andreas had been a home brewer for a while, but he also worked for a period of time as a librarian. But originally he based the company on a farm to the north of Copenhagen, but soon he moved the business to Køge, which is to the southwest of the city. And for a long time he was working with a very small 200 litre brew kit, which was intended as a pilot or sort of transition brew kit, but very recently they've opened a new 20 hectolitre brewery in Greve, which is it has a canning line, and again this is to the southwest of Copenhagen, but their beers have started to be exported as well. A lot of these are appearing over in England. I'm not sure if they reached Scotland actually, but I know that these beers have reached England, and a few of the guys, I think Rob at Hopsy, and I think maybe Peter at the Clueless Drinker. I don't know if Craig at Kent Beer Reviews has done some of these as well. Maybe Harry at Blue Nose, but the English guys are reviewing quite a few beers. And the other interesting thing about this brewery is that very recently they've also recruited Mark Walewski from Beavertown as well, who's gone over to join them as a brewer, which is very cool. So obviously Beavertown very well known for their IPAs and stuff like that. So it's quite exciting that Alefarm have kind of picked up a brewer of that quality as well. And of course Andreas was creating some really quality beers before that as well. So they've got two very good brewers on board at the company. Mainly from before, these guys were focusing on sour beers and things like that, but going by what's been released in the cans recently, I think they are going to focus on kind of straight up IPAs and things like that as well. But I do hope they put out some of the sour beers as well, because some of the sour beers I've heard were very, very good. It was mainly the IPAs that I've tried, so hopefully I can review a few more of their sour beers at some point fairly soon. But yeah, really interesting brewery, these guys, and I hope that I can review their beers more regularly. I'm glad that they've released them in cans and they're starting to scale up a little bit. So best of luck to them. I'm sure they actually will do fairly well with that. But that's all you really need to know about the brewery just now. If you want to read a little bit more, you can check out their website, and you can keep up to date with all the different beers they're releasing on Facebook as well. Since Mark's come in, I think they are quite a little bit more active on Facebook than they were before, because Andreas, I think by the sounds of it, was a very, very busy man. But there, let's have a little look at the artwork on this one then. The good thing about this can, I always complain about this is a half-litre can. This is the size that cans should be. So many English breweries and other places like that are putting them in 440 mils. You know, just do a half-litre, just do it the European way, because it makes much more sense. But the artwork on this can really is very nice. I don't think it actually says who does the artwork on this, but a lot of the artwork on these Alefarm cans is really nice. So on the back you can see they've got this section here that tells you about the beer. There you can see the Alefarm symbol, which is quite nice. It's kind of like a barn with the A inside. I do like that about it actually. But yeah, this one, the Kindred Spirits, an IPA brewed with lactose and hopped with Simcoe, and it comes in at 6.4%. So yeah, without further ado then, let's get this guy out and we'll get on with the tasting. I'm really interested to try this beer. It's fairly fresh as well from what I gather, from what the guys in Kiosk were telling me. So yeah, and the good thing is when it's a half-litre, I won't be able to fill my glass, so after the review I will have a little bit more left to enjoy for myself, which is nice. So yeah, as you can see with this one then, it's poured a nice bright orangey yellow colour there. That looks really nice. One or two big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, but quite a few little ones heading up towards the bottom of that head there. You can see if I put my fingers behind the glass, it is completely opaque. There's very little transparency to this beer. There's a solid finger of a frothy, I would say perfectly white head on this one, but it looks really quite nice. You can get the passion fruit out of this beer straight away, and that's, you know, the telltale sign of Simcoe. Simcoe's trademark is passion fruit. But let's take a closer look at the aroma then and just see what we get. Oh yeah, you can smell the lactose in this one. When you take it in a bit more deeply, you really can smell the lactose out of this beer. But yeah, lovely. The malt base of this one's really nice. You can definitely pick up some of the, I think there's oats in this one, pretty sure there's oats in this beer. You can smell that straight away. There's a nice sort of wheaty bready thing going on, and you've almost just got that kind of milkshake sugar in the beer as well, which is really nice. You can really pick out the lactose in this one. It's got that typical milkshakey quality to it, which is really nice. One of the best milkshake IPAs I had incidentally was actually from an English brewery. That was the $10 shake from Siren. That's a lovely, lovely beer, that. So if any of you watching in Scandinavia ever come across Siren Brewing's $10 shake, I really recommend that you have a go at that one. And this one, the aroma on this beer really reminds me of that one actually, which is interesting. And they've got, you know, if they've got an English brewer now, he probably will be familiar with that beer. But the malt base in this one really is very nice. I love the lactosey, milky notes in this. The wheat's there, the oats there. I do wonder if there's a little bit of a biscuity note to it. But yeah, the hops are coming out nicely as well. The passion fruit from the Simcoe, it's got a little bit of a floral character. It does have a little touch of that kind of floral spice to it. And maybe there's a little bit of grassiness as well. So I mean, it's not too complex in its aroma, but I get the feeling this might be one of these beers that is quite simple in its concept, I guess. But you know, it does what it aims to do really quite well. But let's have a taste of this one then. So this one is the Kindred Spirits. I guess you could say a milkshake IPA technically, from Alefarm Brewing over in Denmark. Hot with Simcoe. Let's see how we get on with this one. Slanja, skål. Yeah, that's really nice. I mean, the thing with this one, I would say, it's really easy drinking. I wasn't quite expecting that from it. You know, this beer, it's 6.4% in fairness, so it's not one of the heavier ones in terms of alcohol, but in terms of drinkability, that's dangerous. That is really, really easy to drink, and that's on one sip. But yeah, that's a really nice beer. Straight away I'll give a thumbs up to Alefarm on this. Really good stuff. I like how that's come across. I mean, you get so many IPAs these days that are just going to, you know, they're just trying to blow the head off you with hops and things like that. This one, you know, I always like beers that have a little bit more of a kind of malty focus, if that makes sense. And you know, I love the milkshake IPAs as well. You know, $10 Shake is probably one of my favourite English beers that I've ever reviewed, and I do like a good milkshake IPA. And they've put one out there. It's just such a nice beer to drink. I really enjoy this style of beer. And as I say, you know, that's one of the things when you're doing beer reviews, you can be a little bit biased towards certain styles and stuff like that, I guess, but I really do like this one. You know, if it'd be interesting, I'd love to see them do something like this, but with like Amarillo, or do the orange hops and things like that. But Simcoe, it's one of these hops that when you put it on its own, it really does kind of do very well for itself. It's straight up passion fruit, but it's such a nice fruit, and some, you know, if you did this with, for example, like Chinook or something, you'd blast yourself with grapefruit. But Simcoe, I think, is one of these hops. It works really well in single hop beers. Citra's another one. You know, Amarillo can do it in things, but for me, the passion fruit works really well with it in the milkshake IPAs. This is a nice beer. If you get the chance to try this one, have a go at it. For me, it really just hits the spot. And as I always say, beer is subjective, but for me, this is one of these ones that just, you know, it does hit the spot. I love my big orangey IPAs. I do like the milkshake IPAs as well, but I don't get to review all that many of those, so I will be keeping an eye on Alefarm for this in the future. I love a good lactose IPA. And I guess that's one thing I should say as well. I don't know where you draw the line between a milkshake IPA and an IPA with lactose, or if there is even a line with that. Interesting point for the future. But this one is really nice. So malt base. This beer is quite like a predicted. It's one of these ones that's not too complex, but it does what it wants to do pretty well, I would say. This one on Rate Beer had I think it was a 92 and a 94. I forget which way around it was. But you know, in my opinion, it does deserve that rating. It is a really nice beer, this one, easy to drink. But the malt base in this, you can feel that nice wheaty, smooth, white, wheaty, bready quality. That just blankets the middle of your tongue. On top of that, you get a really nice kind of oaty. You can feel the oaty creaminess in this one, and then you've got the nice sort of milkshakey, lactosey sort of thing sitting on top of it. Everything goes together in this beer really quite nicely. Yeah, I really do like this one. It really is nice. I think there's a little touch of a biscuity sweetness in the middle of the palate here, but it's quite minimal. That I would say it's quite a little. It's just a little tiny thing you're getting out of it. The malt base is fairly straight up, like I say, wheaty bread, oaty creaminess, and you've got that kind of lactosey, milkshakey kind of thing sitting on top of it, which is quite nice. It becomes a little bit sweeter, I think, as you go further and further into the aftertaste as well. Back corners of the palate, I would say, teeny tiny little bit of earthiness, maybe even a little, not even really a little touch of herbal quality. There's a wee tiny little bit of it there, but as you come further forward on the sides of your tongue, you get a nice little bit of a slightly floral, spicy character. This beer really isn't that high in terms of IBUs. I think it's somewhere around, you know, the 20ish, maybe 30 mark in terms of IBUs, but a nice little bit of floral bitterness there. Round the very front curve of the tongue, you get a little bit of that kind of lighter grassy note to the beer as well, which is really nice. Yeah, and then behind the front curve of the palate, you've got that nice oily bubble, which is where the fruity, juicy esters start to come out of this beer. And like I said, it's straight up passion fruit in this one. So mainly in this beer, you've got four or five flavours. You know, you've got your wheaty bread, a little bit of the oats, the milkshakey side of things, the passion fruit, and the sort of grassy floral side of the beer. It's very simple in its concept, this one, but it's one of these beers that's really just well done. And I remember thinking that I tried one of the first Alefarm IPA, I'm sure, was a Centennial single hop IPA, and I tried that in Himeria, and I thought the same thing about that. I think that's one of the niches that this brewery are really good at. They don't try to make things too complex. They stick to they stick to a simple concept, if you like, and just try to do it well. And I think that's their niche. I think for me that's what Alefarm's all about, and I really do like this beer. It's one of these ones that's really easy to drink, so if you like the milkshake IPAs, like for example if you enjoyed $10 Shake, I think you will enjoy this one, but this one's got a little bit more of the, I think, the lower bitterness, if you like. It's got a little bit less bitterness than that $10 Shake has. This is a really nice, quite sessional beer, but it's 6.4%. It doesn't really fit into that session category, but it's so easy to drink, and you know, I really like this one. If you see this beer, have a go at it and see what you think for yourself. I'm definitely going to make sure I buy more of these Alefarm cans when I'm over in Copenhagen next time, because I have really enjoyed this one. So in terms of the mouthfeel then, the body is an interesting one with this. Yeah, this one's at the top end of mid-bodied, maybe pushing the full-bodied quality actually, and it's just the lactose in the beer. It is quite thick, this one, really smooth carbonation to this. It's got a really thick, kind of creamy mouthfeel to it, this one. There's a little touch of oiliness in there as well, which is nice. It doesn't go too much towards the kind of big, that big creamy mouthfeel that you'd expect to the New England IPAs. And again, this is one of these strange lines, if you like, where you're talking about styles. Is the milkshake IPA just another kind of form of the New England IPA, or is this one, I'm pretty sure this beer has oats in it, is this just a New England IPA with lactose added to it rather than a milkshake IPA? That doesn't matter, of course. It's about how the beer tastes. And for me, this one, it really, as I say, it reminds me of the $10 Shake. It is nice. In terms of the bitterness of this one, as I say, I reckon about 30 IBUs at most. It's maybe even further down at 20. It's such a smooth beer, this. It's got that lovely creamy mouthfeel that you'd expect to the milkshake and the New England IPAs actually. Nice little bit of juicy fruit, and the malt base has a good bit of sweetness. Like I say, a good way to sum this beer up is that it's quite simple in its concept, but it does what it wants to do very well, and I think that's the sort of niche the Alefarm are going for. But yeah, lovely beer. Have a go at it for yourself and see what you think. I like this one. It really deserves that 92, 94 rating that it has on Rate Beer. It is very, very nicely done. So let's leave it at that for this one. So this one was the Kindred Spirits, a 6.4% lactose IPA with Simcoe from Alefarm Brewing in Køge, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, just outside of Copenhagen in Denmark. A lovely beer, and one that I highly recommend that you try for yourself. It's been good to return to Alefarm after quite a wee while, but you will see more of the reviews over the next couple of years, I guess we should say. But yeah, once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this one in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from Alefarm as well. You will see more canned reviews, like I said, but check out my social media. Thank you again for watching, and I will catch you guys very soon. The Kindred Spirits, a 6.4% lactose IPA with Simcoe added from Alefarm Brewing in Køge near Copenhagen in Denmark. Until the next time, it's Landon just now, and I'll catch you guys very soon. Skål.